Hey people, it's me again. So, anyways, I talked about this sort of thing years ago where I mentioned that somebody was like an Alice Keaton conservative and or Alice Keaton Republican, something of that sort, but it was really from that show, Family Ties, if anybody remembers that show back in the 80s, anyway. And this is where Michael J. Fox uh, played Alex Keaton, and in a way, he was conservative, you know, but it was just a way out of rebelling against his parents who were, ex hippies of that sort, you know, that sort of thing. Like they voted for Humphrey in '68 or McGovern in '72, something like that. And then now they all gotten all middle aged and you know, and so that sort of thing. And then for Alex Keaton, that was like the only way he can rebel against his parents by being a bit conservative. And in a way, there was this other show that was, Clarissa Explains It All. Like that one character, Ferguson, was kind of like that in a way, where he was conservative, just simply, just for the sake of rebelling, because the parents in Clarissa Explains It All were kind of like ex hippies in some ways, especially the mom, Janet, was that way, where um, they weren't allowed to have meat in their food because how Janet was a vegetarian hippie in some ways, and it was just one of those little things again. And in a way, that was the first show that Melissa Joan Hart was in back in the day. This was like back about 35 years ago, I think, if I remember correctly. And in a way, the late Michelle Trachtenberg was in that show, Clarissa Explains It All, in that one episode where she was supposed to play that character, Elsie Silverstein, and how she was supposed to be like a total brat, but she puts on this sort of image of being this cute little innocent girl, to like all the adults, If anybody kind of remembers like growing up where you had to deal with like the kids from school or neighborhood who were the brats and all, but they act all innocent around the adults, and they just don't believe you until there's like verified proof that they're up to no good, and so that was kind of like the thing that happened with what you would call it, yeah, like Elsie, I think. But then she also that artist, I mean that actress, Michelle Trachtenberg, appeared on Pete and Pete, and then she appeared on Space Cases with her co-star, what was his name, Danny Tamborelli, I think that was his name. So he's the one that played Little Pete, if I recall correctly, and they both appeared on that show, Space Cases, in that one episode where they were playing these two kids that were doing these prank calls, and then the crew there had gone around and called them back at one point. And what's his name? Walter Emmanuel Jones was in that show. He was supposed to play Harlan Band there, and so, and then I forget that actress's name. She was the one that played Kat, if I recall correctly, and I get her confused with like the actress who was in that show. I mean, in the movie Scott Pilgrim versus the World, you know, and she was the one that played what's his name? I mean, what's her name? Ramona Flowers, you know. And so that was like another one that I ended up getting into at one point, you know, because I figured I had stumbled upon the game, and that was funny, you know, how I gotten so much into that game, you know. So that was just one of those things there. So, anyways, I guess that's probably it. So, talk to you guys later.